what I wanted to talk about today, you can see the title of the video, but I'm going to take you through the thought process that goes into modifying a car. And so this is all coming at once, where I'm doing a bunch of stuff. And it's going to be over the course of the next several weeks where we're going to go through a bunch of different, some minor, some major, all bolt-on, though. These are all bolt-on modifications, nothing crazy, not doing any, pulling motors and changing internals and things like that. The first thought that came into my mind as soon as I popped the hood was I really want to get rid of the goofy tank. There it is. So you have this big bubble, right? This big ball. And so I want to replace it with something that makes more sense, that looks cleaner, neater, and doesn't have this big bulk. That's the bottom of the tank, and this is the front of the tank. Of course, I won't be putting a big sticker on the front of it, but I'm sure you could. And so the installation of this is super simple. I mean, all you do is pull the expansion lines. Then there's a line on the bottom. We pull that out and just plug it in, and then dump the fluid that's in this into the container. And this thing's a couple of $300. The thing to keep in mind if you're new to or you've never modified a car, chances are if you're watching my channel, you've done some modifications before. But I'm going to buy this thing for $300, and I'll probably sell it for, I don't know, $200 or $175 later on. And so I'll get my use out of it, and then get a good portion of my money back. Of course, there's always going to be depreciation, but it's kind of like buying a car. You don't buy a car and drive it around for a year or two and then sell it and get nothing back. So for me, being a car nut, something like this is dress up only, but I'll get the vast majority or a good chunk of my money back, and then I get to look at something that's superior. And then the fun of it, the fun of being able to modify and mess with the car. So I ordered this. That was one of the first things I ordered. I should have it, in a week or so. I also did some other Underhood stuff. Forgive the orange from JLT Cold Air. So these are the guys that make probably the most purchased intake. But this is a JLT Performance. And so another thing I'm going to do is a quick lift hood actuator, the hood piston. So there'll be one of these on each side where, of course, mine won't be orange. It'll be black. I didn't do the Elite version. The Elite only comes in like a stainless steel, and then you have to paint it. I wanted black, so I did the regular version. I don't think there really is much difference. Vinny was telling me about the difference. Can't exactly remember what it was. T316. I think the only difference, they're both gas, gas springs. I think the only difference was it was stainless. I just don't want stainless in my car. I love stainless in my garage, but not so much on my car. So this will be black. And then these will allow the hood. It's kind of odd that such an expensive car has a hood prop. And so these will take the place of the prop so that the hood will stay open on its own. So that makes a subtle difference when you're opening the hood. And at least it does for me. Another thing I'm doing is I'm not doing a painted, I'm doing a hydrocarbon, so I guess a fake carbon fiber box. So the box is plastic, and I'm not doing something crazy like this. There we go. I'm going to do hydrocarbon, and so the carbon box cover, but it'll be, there won't be an orange thing on here. It'll just be carbon, mainly to match the intake that I'm going to do here shortly. Another couple of little things I did in the engine bay. This master cylinder cover for a few bucks. What is this thing? I guess it's not more than a few bucks. But this covers up where the master cylinder, where you can normally see it. I don't know if he has a picture without it. Of course, I'll make videos and show you guys this, and I'm guessing I'll do all the Underhood stuff at the same time. So. All that stuff will get knocked out all at once, or within a day or so. So I'll have those videos up. I decided not to do. I actually like the factory coil covers, so I'm not doing anything like that. I'm not gonna do those. Let's see, what else did I do from JLT? Oil separator. In talking to Vinny, I decided to do just the one. I think it's the passenger side. I may end up getting the other one too, but there's two separators. Unless you're really going to be hard on the car, from what I've read, you really don't need both of them. I may buy it at some point, but I think it was the passenger side is the one that where you'll tend to have the most blow off. And so I should probably clarify that. He hasn't sent me my invoice yet, so I'll have that soon. So that's the oil separator that'll also go under hood, just to hopefully help with longevity and make sure that the any extra oil blow off doesn't end up going through the drivetrain, if you will, and having carbon buildup or issues like that. The other thing and main thing I bought from JLT is this intake. Now, because of the sensitivity of the map sensor and the sensors in the car, the GT350, this needs to be tuned. And again, you can see the ugly box, the big bubble that we're getting rid of. But I chose the hydrocarbon option. This, I forget the size. I think the stock size is 110 millimeters, and this is 120. Or maybe it's not millimeters, maybe it's cubic, and I don't know what it is, but the size of the piping is much bigger. Yeah, the tube is 4.5, and then the filter inlet's a little bit bigger versus stock, and so we have increased size of the piping, which then throws a code, and so that's why we'll need a tune in order to a tune loaded into the DME or the ECU in order to make sure that we don't have any codes or issues, and then maximize the power. So I decided to do a blue oiled filter. So you do have some options. You can do a black filter. You can do a blue filter. I don't know. Maybe that's a mistake. I probably should have done black, but I think blue might look cool. I hate how it has that open box. I wish they would just put a cover over this, but I don't think it fits with the hood. And so I'll have to make sure with adjustments that this doesn't fit the hood either. And so there's the intake. So that's everything that we'll have under hood for now. I mean, maybe I'll do some other modifications later, but I mean, the car is so fast. I'm going to be well over 500 wheel horsepower, because I'm also going to be doing an E85 tune on this as well, or like a flex fuel option. So the car's going to be a monster. It already is a monster stock. So, I mean, I'm doing the intake mainly because I like the way it looks. Maybe it'll add a little bit more induction noise, but I doubt it. That's the one weird thing about this car. You don't hear much of the motor. It's mostly exhaust. And then continuing with the drivetrain, I'm doing a American Racing header full system. This picture doesn't show, but it also has mufflers. They call it Thunder or something or other mufflers. Actually, let's go to Lethal Performance. They have there's GT350. Let's go exhaust. So this is where I bought the stuff from. A bunch of the stuff from is Lethal Performance. And so when we do the complete system, Cooks is an option, which I almost bought, and then American Racing headers, not very different company than American Racing, which makes wheels, both very American. You call it Lethal Performance. They're playing death metal in the background, which I think is cool. And so this is the system option that I chose. And so if you do own a GT350 and you're considering buying, this exhaust, I mean, naturally, why not let me fall on the sword and test it and play with it and make videos of it. One of my new Mustang buddies, Alton, who's in Louisiana, he already has the system. He's my inspiration for doing this system. But a couple of options you have that I chose. We can do 2-inch primaries or 1 7/8 inch primaries, and I don't think that 2 inch is necessary unless I was going to be forced induction or something like that. I don't think I'll ever do that. I decided to do cats, even though I'm going to have a tune and I live in Florida. I decided to do cats. I mean, I guess I could probably make a little bit more power, but I really am more interested in the sound. I just don't want to have rasp if I can help it, and this system really doesn't have any of that. Another reason why I chose American Racing over the Cooks system. So if we go back to Cooks, if you'll notice in the picture, Cooks doesn't have a resonator. So it's a much more straight through design. I actually like the look. The stainless looks a little nicer and everything, but the mufflers look a little nicer on the Cook system. But I have a feeling this is going to be way too loud and really raspy. That when I cut the resonators out of my factory exhaust, and this is the reason why we're doing this. The factory exhaust, when I cut it out, you get like a crack, like a raspy crack that I just don't like. That from what I can tell in the videos I've watched, this full system option reduces that or doesn't have that. And so we're going to have the full system, the full headers, long tube headers to cats, and then a X pipe option, resonators in line. And notice you can easily remove the resonators later if you needed to. You could just have I think American Racing Headers probably sells a piece for that, where you could just remove the resonators if you thought that was necessary, and then clearly smaller mufflers in stock, and then we'll use the factory tips, which I don't like as much. That was one thing that was nice about the MagnaFlow, is you would use their tips versus this, but this system is going to be legit. It sounds freaking awesome. So at least in the videos I've seen, it makes a nice deep sound, which is what I want, but still retains the character of the flat plane, the Voodoo V8. So that's the exhaust, and in order to make all this stuff work, the headers, even though there's only a single cat, there aren't, or I guess dual cats, but there aren't primary and secondary cats. There's only a single set of cats on this car. So we don't have to worry about that, but it still throws a code, I guess, because of the increased flow with the long tube headers. So that's something that we need to account for. And so I'm doing a Lund Racing GT350 custom tune setup. So you get the N gauge, which I won't display. I'll just throw it in the glove compartment. But when you buy this, you have to make some choices. And so obviously I have a 2017. We're going to do 93 octane, but I'm going to choose the Flex Fuel Tune option. And so this gives me an option to run E85 only, run combination, or just 93. And so that's something that I think was worth $150. Yes, I have the oil pressure gauge. I'm not sure what this is. I need to ask Lethal about what this is talking about. I clicked yes. Maybe not. I don't know. I guess this would be. If we didn't have cats. So maybe I need to select no. And then of course I'll list all my modifications, intake and stuff, so they account for that. And then they'll send me the tune, and I'll load it. I do need to get the PCM number, and so I'll have to go pull that today. I'm going to change the oil today, I think, so I'll make a video of that, changing the oil and pulling the PCM part number, so that I can get it to them, so they have the right code in order to, I guess, crack the ECU or do whatever they need to do. And so I think the PCM code is underneath. Yeah, see, 2015 plus. I just pull up the fuse box, and then it's on this label here. So I need to get that part number or that code off the ECU underneath the fuse box. Looks like maybe I don't even need to pull the fuse box out. PCM is located beneath the fuse box in the engine bay. Yeah, so it should be pretty simple to do. So that's the tune in order to account for both, and then it'll load through I'm assuming the OBD2 port. So that's the tune. Another couple of things I did. I did pedals. I found it really hard to heel toe, even though I've decided to dial that in and really learn how to do it. I chose SRP pedals, and I'm gonna do I ordered already. I ordered the satin black I ordered SC, which is this option, and then I ordered black. So it's a black silverish finish. It has these little nifty little holes. I found that aluminum pedals aren't very slippery, and so these are supposed to be anti-skid. I know a lot of people choose this option, the grid option, because it's probably a bit more grippy. The main reason why I want to do this is so that let's see. I hope that I got. I don't know if I ordered a footrest or not. I have to make sure. I'll have to check what I actually ordered. So if we do pictures of the pedals, so you can do grid, you can do grid with a trim. Again, I chose. I don't even have a picture here of which ones. But anyway, the pedal options you have a choice of. You can do. Here we go. Pictures of pedals installed. You can do a large pedal. So you can do a really large pedal. In my case, for the GT350, I did a medium. So they have one in between large, which is really wide, which has an extra section that allows you to grab, I guess, grab the the edge of the accelerator. And so I did that. I also did an accelerator spacer, so it'll space it out, so it'll actually sit up a little higher. So the way that it looks now, you have the brake pedal and then the gas pedal sits in, so it's going to bring it up and then extend it over. And so there's not going to be any excuse why I can't heel toe. And so those are the modifications I'm going to start with. I'm waiting on Eibach springs, so I'm going to do Eibach springs. I want to keep the Magnaride shocks, but that's coming, and then I'll do wheels. And I really can't think. I probably should keep my mouth shut on this. I can't think of anything else that I'm really planning to do, at least in the foreseeable future right now. The other thing I will do is probably do the shifter upgrade. So the name is escaping me right this minute, but I'll add that as well. And of course, all the videos will come following this: dynos before and after, installation videos, exhaust sound videos in and out of the car, and so I'll be documenting all that stuff as I go through the process. Anyway, stay tuned for an oil change video if you're into that sort of thing, and stay tuned for more GT350 updates. Because what happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor.